So that's kind of some of the reasons why. You remember, y'all, I was saying, like, check the building, stuff like that. I guess that's the stuff we have to be attentive to. It's not even powering on. And so I don't know when they'll be able to come out to fix it. And y'all already know I won't be in town. So, so that's going to be something somebody going to have to, see about to take care of. I don't know, they more than likely going to send somebody out with a router. They're not going to send one more than likely. So, but, so a couple of things I want to talk to y'all about before I get into exactly what it is that I'm going to share with us on tonight. And I say with us because we're going to get this on this evening. It feels good to be in the house of the Lord. It's been 2 Sundays. I haven't been in here. 2 Sundays, and so it feels good to be in here. Even though I preach somewhere Sunday, it still feels good to be at home. Like Dorothy says, click, click, there's no place like home. So very thankful and grateful for that. So listen, first thing first, I want to talk to y'all to bring y'all into more understanding. Listen, revelation was given today. Confirmation was given today. I've been telling y'all for the past few weeks. I've been like, y'all, look, something ain't right. Something is not right. I just really sense that there is some wagging tongues against this ministry. I just been sensing it. I just really have. I've been sensing it really strong, and I've been sensing it in the context of it being not just them talking about us, but them talking in an effort of speaking struggle and shut down on us. I've been sensing it just that bad. Okay, so check this out right here. All right, so this morning I get a phone call, confirmation number 1. I get a phone call, and they say to me, what's been going on with you? I ain't seen you in a while. I come out there, you been, it look like it's ghosts. Y'all don't close down. Confirmation number 1. Okay. So then I get a phone call while me and Daniel are having lunch today. I get a phone call from City Hall. And she say, are you busy? And I say, yeah, I'm having lunch right now. Well, nothing, no hurry or nothing like that. You can just get back with me when you can. Okay, so of course, by me having to come up to the building because I needed to turn the air and stuff on in here and try to prepare things, I stopped by instead of calling. So when I stopped by, I go in there to talk to her, and she said, well, I needed to talk to you about a couple complaints, that I done got. I'm like, a couple complaints, man. What complaints you got? Well, y'all got paint on the sidewalk out there. It been some complaints done come up here about y'all got paint on the sidewalk. I said, that paint been there. Either it got put there when we first did this building, which was probably 6 years ago, or either it got put there last August when we transformed the building to what it is now. So that's almost a year, and somebody saying something about the paint. Yeah, and then you left 2 buckets out there beside the garbage can. They can't pick those buckets up because they are not inside of the garbage can. Y'all hear me? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? We're in a season and in a moment where the intensity is intensifying. It is intensifying. It is intensifying because now ground is being cut that we have prayed about. Now the territory is being taken that we was praying about. Now it's time for manifestation. And because it's time for manifestation, the enemy is coming with an infiltration to literally try to cause some things to happen. I told y'all, I know what I be sensing. I don't consider myself to be the one that hears the most. But one thing I do know is that I do hear. And I know what I sense. I know what I sense. I've been telling y'all that I was like, it was like clothes. That's what I kept hearing. They wanted clothes. This is what I kept hearing. I kept hearing it in the spirit, and I kept hearing it. And so for that to come, which I said to her, I said, well, whoever called you and told you that, tell them to go down there and buy some paint stripper and get it up. I said, don't start bothering me. That's exactly what I said. I said, I mean that. I said, don't start bothering me. I said, honey, I got other stuff to deal with that's more major than that. That's petty to me. I said, that's petty. That's petty. Don't call me about nothing else. I said, matter of fact, she'll tell you what I said. Give me an appointment with the mayor. I need to talk to her. She called me back a while ago and told me to meet the mayor tomorrow. I need to talk to her, and I'm going to talk to her about, don't send them folks, tell them people to leave me alone. You understand? I said, look, I do too much. That's petty. That's petty. That right there could have been taken care of, or that could have been said, you know what I'm saying? That didn't have to make it up there. You know what I'm saying? What's the problem? I said, that's been there. Ain't nobody been paying. That been there. I said, I got too much stuff going on. Too much petty, too much major stuff going on to have to deal with stuff like that, see? But see, and I'll talk to you like that when you don't intimidate me. When you can't come at me like that. I'll talk to you just like that. I do too much. You understand? I'm known for helping people. That's what I do. I said, don't pull me out my element. Because when you pull me out my element, it be problems. Don't pull me out my element. I'm the resource person. I said, that's what that is down there. That's a resource place. It's all kinds of things in there that they can't even get from y'all. And that's how I said it. Amen. In there to help people. Don't bother me, okay? Don't leave me alone with petty stuff. Leave me alone with petty stuff. I would have much rather had they said something to Toya about it than to come to me with the petty stuff. That's petty. That's petty. But I'm telling y'all exactly what's going on. You got to see what's happening here. You got people that are connecting to us. You got look at Dina. I don't know where a sidekick at. When I get your sidekick, I'm going to get your sidekick. I'm going to go on and tell you. When I get your sidekick, I'm going to get your sidekick. Now, I'm going to tell you because I'm serious. I'm getting in on her real good. And when I get in on her real good, where I got her where she ain't going to run, I'm going to choke her. I'm telling you, because that's how it runs. That's how I do. I'm going to love on you when I first get you. I'm going to love on you when I first get you. But then I'm going to meet you. I'm going to meet you and you're going to meet me. You're going to meet me. Damn, when I sit down. That one need to sit down. Just breathe. Sit down. Literally come into order. See, we got people that have powerful calls on them that are coming in the door. Powerful callings on them. Callings that they're literally trying to find out exactly what it is and how to navigate in it properly so that they can affect the kingdom of hell like they need to. So that they can affect the kingdom of hell like they need to. And I'm talking about literally being a threat for real. I'm not talking about visitations, but I'm talking about living in a space where hell knows don't bother that one. Because that one lives there. That one doesn't come in and out. See, that one ain't sleeping with me behind closed doors. And then going over there trying to do things. That's no power, but I'm talking about the people that are a threat for real. And they're literally bringing themselves into a submitted form so that they're able to do what needs to be done and the impact in the way they need to impact. And because of that, that means that hell is upset. Hell is upset. Now, please understand this. There's very little that hell is getting to do, though, because hell hasn't really bothered in the aspect. That's why hell is coming at me, because hell hasn't really bothered in the aspect of some of you that are here, because he don't have to. You still don't have enough power over your flesh for him to feel like he got to. He know that your flesh whoops your butt, so he ain't got to do nothing. But for somebody that he know gonna give him a no, and somebody that he know gonna say somebody that he know gonna use some wisdom, somebody that he know gonna come with some knowledge, someone he know gonna submit, he knows that that's a threat. That one right there is a threat, because that one right there is gonna resist the devil and he'll have to period. So then, therefore, he's coming. And that's why he will come towards me with certain things. Last 2 days, blood pressure been crazy. And that is not me. Now, granted, I have been dealing with pain. But for it to be where it's at, it's crazy. My blood pressure used to be so good, it's ridiculous. Nothing has changed with eating. None of that. None of that. You too?
Yeah, because for the last 4 days, Ella's been coming at me with high blood pressure and my feet swollen again, and things changed.
Telling you. I know what time it is. I know what time it is. Mm-hmm. I know what time it is. And see, my thing is this. You can nonchalantly play with this stuff and you be taken away. Because that's the whole object of it. Certain times you can play, but certain times you can't play. You know, it's just like when you think about it with your children or so. Certain times they can go outside and play. It's daytime. But when it's night, you don't want them outside. You don't know what's crawling on the ground. You don't know what's going to come up. It's nighttime, y'all. It's nighttime. It's nighttime. You can't play right now. You literally got to hammer in. Literally got to hammer in right now. Because this is the thing you got to understand. So as the earth spins on its axis, it's night right now. Yeah, daytime is coming again, but day is not going to come if you stay in night. You better hear what I just said to you. Day is not going to come if you stay in night. Do you know how many people are walking in darkness? Day doesn't come if you stay in night. Do you know how many people are walking in darkness? But they still seeing the sunshine just like we are. But they're still walking in darkness. So just because the sun comes does not mean that day has come. You can still be in an element of darkness, and it's dark right now. I wish y'all would hear me. I'm telling you, it's dark right now. It's dark in the context of, I bet you if I ask y'all, every one of you, tell the truth right now, you're going through something that's pretty rough, ain't you? Dealing with some stuff. Because it's dark. It's dark. But the way you respond to the darkness is what makes the difference. How do you respond to the darkness when it comes? That makes the difference. Are you afraid when the dark comes? Because if I'm scared, then hey, you're not responding right to the darkness. You're not responding to the darkness right. When there was darkness on the earth, the Lord said one thing to the darkness, and it was what? Show you right. That's how you respond to it. That's how you respond to darkness. You don't respond to darkness with fear. You tell darkness, let there be light. That's what you tell it. That's the answer to darkness. You don't wrestle with darkness. You don't become intimidated of darkness. You don't shut down on darkness. You tell darkness, let there be light. Bottom line. That's how you respond to darkness. Let there be light. Darkness come over the finances. Let there be light. Darkness come, trouble in your family. Let there be light. Darkness come with sickness in your body. Let there be light. Let there be light. That's the answer for darkness. Let there be light. Let there be light. That is the answer. Let there be light. For I am the light of the world. That's what he said. It says, and when light came, the darkness comprehended it not. It's what it said. So it doesn't understand the light, see? It doesn't understand it when darkness comes. No, let there be light. I don't live in a place of darkness. I don't dwell in a place of darkness. Let there be light. Period. Let there be light. Second thing that I want to talk to y'all to tell y'all about. Don't know all of. Well, I want y'all to be in prayer with me about it. Pastor Ellison called me today and gave me a couple of words that he heard. Blew my mind. Because when he was talking to me, the Lord spoke. That ain't right. Where my phone at? That ain't the right one. Hold on. All right, so he I don't want to mess up the two words, so let me get them. Because two words. The two words were combining strengths. That's what he heard. He said, I want you to, he said, look, I need to talk to you. The Lord told me to talk to you to ask you, what do you think that means? What do you hear with combining strengths? Combining strengths. Well, when he said that to me, I know the thought that came to my head, but I heard the Holy Spirit just as clear as day said the word allies. And I asked him, I said, what does allies mean? He said, I think it means friends. But I said, let me look this up. Check this out what allies mean. It says to combine or unite a resource or commodity with another for mutual benefit. Combining strengths. Something's brewing. Okay, so listen. He says this to me. He said, the Lord told me that there's about to come a warfare fixing to hit the earth. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to warn y'all before this happens. He said that the Lord told him that there was a warfare about to hit the earth. And he said, combining, it's got to happen. It's got to happen. He said, combining strengths. The reason why I believe it is because there's got to be a shaking. It's got to be a shaking. It's got to be a shaking. It's got to be. It's got to be a shaking. But that's what God does. See, if you listen to him, he'll get you ready before. A good soldier is prepared for battle. You don't send them in battle and then teach them. You prepare them before they get into battle. A good soldier. See, a good soldier knows how to take instruction. A good soldier knows how to hear. A good soldier knows how to yield, because that soldier knows they're being prepared for something that is about to come. And he was saying, he said, there is a warfare that is about to come. And see, everything that happens has to come with an element of warfare, because if God is shaking and he's moving some things, getting rid of some things, let's just call it the wheat and the tare being separated. Let's just call it that. Let's use that as an analogy. So if he's separating the wheat from the tare, that means there has to be a falling away.
Separated. But you told us that God, you gave a word that God said that the wheat and the tare go together, and he is going to sift.
Here go. It's coming a shaking.
He's already doing that.
It's coming a shaking.
He's been doing that. He's been doing that for months now.
I'm telling you. It's coming intensifying. It is intensifying. You better hear me. It is intensifying, y'all. It's intensifying. It's not, see, and we were not called to do business as usual. No. I want to tell you that. Anybody that gets the opportunity to be associated with what we do, you are not called to do business as usual. You are not an average churchgoer. You're not. You are not a religious person. You are a kingdom person. You are not a religious person. There is way more religious people that are out than it is kingdom people. And that's just being honest. There's way more religious people than there are kingdom people because that's just the way it's set. The kingdom people that were in the times of Jesus started out with only 12. But there was a whole world of other folk that were religious people. How do you know they was religious? Pastor Lee, I done told y'all I pay attention. I studied the word. Check this out right here. You know they was religious because they was after the religion of John the Baptist. They literally met him in Acts 19 and he said, hey, what's up with this Holy Ghost? They said, man, we don't even know about no Holy Ghost. We were baptized under the baptism of John. So they were religious people. That's what they lived based off of religion. They did not live based off of relation, which is what kingdom people live off of. Kingdom people live off of relation. And so if you are afforded to literally be a part of what's happening here, then you are called to a relationship with God. You're not called to religion. This is going to aggravate you because everything about you starts being shifted and sifted when you are called into kingdom. Kingdom says you can't bring that in here, baby. Well, I don't took it with me everywhere else, but it can't come in here, sweet. You can't do that in here, honey. Well, I was able to do it, but you can't do it in here, baby. No, baby. You know, we have a level of order in here. You know what I'm saying? There is a order and an expectation that we have here. So you can't do that in here. Well, they didn't say nothing to me about it over there. I done carried this blanket everywhere that I done been. I carried it when I was a little girl, and I still been carrying it when I was a teenager, and I done carried it as a grown woman. But the blanket can't come in here, baby. The blanket can't come in here. It can't make it in here. And so then now it's because it's taking some things off that you're not used to being off. Now there is a fit being pitched. And that's how you know when you've been called to do something else, when you start seeing yourself fit to pitch a fit. If you ain't pitching a fit, then you ain't in the right place. You supposed to be pitching a fit because it's messing with things about you. So you ain't no giver. Well, we give over here. Huh? Okay, so wait a minute. So, you still giving $2? Oh, you don't tithe? We tithe. And we give alms and we sow seeds and we do free will offerings. We live by the book over here. Well, I ain't have to do that over there. See, it's going to mess with you. Because it's pulling you to relationship. God is a God of relation. He wants to have relation. He wants to have commune, which means that there is conversation and there is community. Community means to have the commune of unit. So that means that there is literally a unit of people communicating with each other. That's what it means. There is a unit of people that communicate with each other. And so that's what God wants. So religion won't make it in these type of environments. It just will not make it. If you just used to, people don't understand me. Well, how is it that you could be and consider yourself to have ministry, but you don't have instruments and none of that? Yeah, but I got music that I play, so I like instruments and all that. But this is the thing about it. I saw too many of you get too caught up in the emotion of things and literally was not caught up in the spirit of things. Why did they have to strum the keyboard in order for you to preach a word? I can preach one when you ain't got now. And still come forth with power. Baby, still can. And if I need to lay hands, if I need to call an altar call, I can do every bit of it. And ain't got to have none of that. Why? Because I have it inside of me and I don't have to strum him up to get him going. All I've got to do is know that he lives in me and grant him permission to do what he wants to do. The problem is you haven't given him permission. You haven't given him permission when it takes that for you to be able to serve him. You haven't given him permission. So it's commune. And there he told me, I'm telling you, there is a great warfare that is about to come. And so there has to be, what I sense is a combining of strengths. And then when I heard ally, I felt like it was bridging it together. I was like, oh man, it's about to be, we finna have to start coming together.
Yeah.
That's what's fixing to happen. We're about fixing to have to start coming together. But what's going to happen is those that come together, you're going to see those are the ones that are really in pursuit of the things of God. And those that you see kick a buck about it and not want to participate, going to expose their hand. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. If you called everybody that has a church in this city right now and said, I want to have let's all the pastors, let's everybody get together, I guarantee you some of them ain't going to come. Some of them ain't going to come because they really don't want to be a unit. And that's the way God is going to expose. That is the way God is going to expose. You're going to know them by the stiff necks. Watch what I tell you. Y'all better hear what I just told you. You're going to be able to identify them by the stiff necks. The stiff neck. The refusal. The refusal to move. The refusal to change. The refusal to unite. That's how you're going to know. That's how you're going to know. Is the Holy Spirit going to present himself to them? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's going to present himself. But will they yield? No. You're going to know. They're going to know. They're going to know. You're going to know by their refusal to yield.
I do. We put a worship night together. We had it on the square. We invited everyone. And no one moved except for some our brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They just heard by ear by chance.
Mm-hmm.
The ones who right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you see, because let me show you something. They just did one last week up there. Honey, it was over 200 or more, probably more than that, folk there.
I didn't even know that.
Blacks and whites.
I didn't know nothing about it.
I'm going to tell you why you ain't know nothing about it. You kingdom. You better hear what I'm saying to you. I ain't scared to say it. You kingdom. They don't want your kind. They're not going to support your kind.
You're right.
They had the drums. They had the keyboards. And that's what they need, see. That's what they got to have in order to pray for somebody's body to be healed of cancer. They need a drum. They need keyboards. All I need is my mouth.
That's all we had. Stickers.
That's all I need is my mouth. Because you're going to have what you say. You ain't going to have what was played. You're going to have what you say. So all I need is my mouth. And it says if I decree a thing.
So shall it be.
All right then.
It is. So.
Okay then. Oh, it was a bunch of them. Blacks and whites. I'm talking about a bunch of them. Bunch of them. Yeah, it was a bunch of them. They don't want your kind. They don't want your kind. They want religion, which says that all I got to do is know about God. I don't have to have no relationship with him. I don't have to have no relationship with him. I just want to know about him. I heard he was the joker you go see on Sundays. Yes, what I heard. He was the one you go see on Sundays and you give him a couple dollars on Sunday and you ain't even got to give him what they say you supposed to give him because he understand. He know your heart. See, that's religion. He knows your heart, so you ain't got to give him. God knows if you ain't got that. He knows that. The Lord know that you went to the bar last week and spent that money, so now you got to pay that stuff back. You got some extra charges, so you can't give no tithe this time because God know that. He knows your heart. So then God makes excuses for what you don't do because he knows it. See, that's what religion does. Religion does that. Religion literally makes an excuse for what you don't do and what you ain't willing to do. Religion does that. That is the reason why I'm a pusher in here. See, I will literally push you out of a ram. I literally provoke you in some things and say what you tried to do. Where did you give an excuse or did you put forth an effort to do? I'm your pusher. Why? Because I know what religion would do. Religion looks for excuses to not do things, but relationship is looking for a reason to do it.
Oh man, that's good. Mm-hmm.
It's looking for a reason because I got relationship. And I understand that because I got relationship, I've got to do what it is that I need to do. See, religion could have said today, Delphine, you was just in the emergency room last night. Religion could have shut me down yesterday. I had a meeting up here yesterday and was in excruciating pain. Came up here and did the meeting and done the meeting to the best of my ability. Left from here and drove myself straight out there to Mizell. Went in there in all kinds of pain. Couldn't hardly even move. That's just, but see, relation says honor the call. That's what relation says. Relation says do what you know you need to do. Relation says honor that charge to keep that you got. But religion will make excuses. I can't do it. I don't fool with religious folks. They always looking for some way to get out of something. I don't fool with them. I don't fool with them. Religious folk will sit at home to watch a movie before they go to the house of the Lord. They will. Religious folk will take something that they know they should be sowing and will go out to eat and stuff with it before they give it to God. Because they're looking for an excuse, and the excuse is the Lord knows. The Lord knows my heart. You know, if you make one step, the Lord will make two. Can't nobody show you that nowhere in Scripture. The Lord done made all the steps he gonna make. He wants your feet to make some now. He done made all the steps he gonna make. He went to Calvary. What else you want him to do? What else? He made a promise that he would live inside of you. What else you want the man to do? What else? What you gonna do? What effort you gonna put forth? What you gonna do? That's why I don't like religion. Because religion wants God to do everything and don't do nothing themselves. I'm just waiting on the Lord. What you mean you just waiting on the Lord? The Lord waiting on you. What do you mean? People don't understand me and why I'll make you say something. I'll pull something out of you. It's a reason why I do what I do. Because of the simple fact, if you always allow people to live in an excuse, they won't grow for one. And they'll always have you in limbo. And you ain't finna have me in limbo. I will cut the food before I let you keep me in limbo. You ain't gonna keep me in limbo. You gonna tell me what it is. You want the cake or you don't. You ain't gonna be sitting there saying, I'm gonna give you about 2 seconds with that, and then something finna change. Because the thing of it is, most people already know what they want.
True.
Most people already know what they want. You just have to teach people how to be honest about what they want. To be honest, you have to teach people to be honest about what they want. When we were growing up, they taught us so much about staying away from lies till we literally forgot to learn about honesty. We can spot some lies, but we can't spot the truth. We can spot some lies real good, but can't spot the truth. Because we're not too familiar with it. We don't camp out with it. We don't associate ourselves enough with the truth. And the truth of the matter is this word is infallible. That's the truth. This word, the Bible says that it can be used for reproof and rebuke. That's what it says. It is infallible. It also says that there's not to be one jittle taken away from it. Do not take away not one tittle of it. Don't you undot a I and don't you uncross a T. You leave it just like it's supposed to be because it's strong enough to stand on its own. But religious folk will doctor on it.
Yeah.
Because why? The truth does not live fully in a religious person. You better listen to what I'm saying. The truth does not live fully in a religious person. They are not subdued 100%. No, they have some enough to know of God, but they don't have enough to have a relationship with God. So then they know stuff like this right here. I'll give y'all an example. They know stuff like this right here. When you go to the nativity scene that they set up for Christmas and all, you're going to look and you're going to see 3 wise men. That's what you're going to see in all the nativity scenes. You go buy it at Walmart, you go buy it at Target, TJ Maxx, wherever. You're going to see 3 wise men in that nativity scene where the Bible say the wise men came from afar. It never gave a number. Never gave a number. But religious folks see how they'll add and they'll make it what they want it to be. So then what if God was to come to say, hey, I ain't saying nothing about no 3 wise people. Well, Lord, you understand. You know how we do with each other, see? Because we do stuff like that, girl, you understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was all right with that. But Lord said, no, that's a lie. You've spreaded a lie throughout the land. You've deceived my people. Yep. Yep. See? So literally, but the deception that goes out and how it causes problems because of the wanting religion and not relation. God knows you. Lord know I got to pay my bills. Yeah, I ain't got, he know I ain't got it to give. Yeah, I got to pay my. That's what's gonna get you in trouble. See, that's what's gonna get you in trouble. The Lord know I got to pay my. But let me tell you something. You don't change what that man say. You can let a joker sit you down and corrupt your mind and think you can change what that man say. You're gonna get in trouble now. Do not change this man's word. It is what it is. It is. Conflict all throughout the land with folks. That folks, do y'all know in this day and time, people still arguing about tithes and offerings? Yeah. People are still causing confusion and arguing about tithes and offerings. And you know why? They don't want to give it. If you trace those people back that have those issues, somewhere they was with a preacher that they got a problem with. And they had done gave their heart to that pastor. And they hurt them. And now they trying to find refute in things that been said and gonna get in some trouble behind that. Gonna literally get in some trouble. God ain't took nobody. I want somebody to bring them to me and I'll literally sit down and talk with them. God ain't took nobody fresh off no street and done saved them and told them automatically that tithing and offering was wrong. That came from somebody that literally been with somebody before and them folks hurt them and now they got a problem because see they must have been giving them everything that they had because when you young in the Lord, you a good giver. You know what I'm saying? You will sow all kinds of stuff. You don't mind because you excited. You in the zeal of it. So you give everything. You sowing all kinds of stuff. And then you find out they might be jackleg. Now I ain't getting them nothing else. I ain't getting no church, nothing else. I won't go nowhere else and get no church, nothing else. So then what you do is you start setting up your own form of what you think giving's supposed to be and what you think you supposed to do with giving. And it's going to get you in some trouble. You let God deal with them folk and go sit down somewhere and heal. I'm not changing nothing regardless of what a jackleg do. Because I'm standing on the word. I ain't standing on no jack. That between them and God. Because I'm going to tell you what it say in the word. It say he raises up kings and he brings them down. It's just a matter of time. You can trace it back to they done been hurt. Somebody wounded them. And now they're looking for deficiencies in the word of God. That is the wrong place to ever look for a deficiency. That is the wrong place to ever look for a deficiency. To sit down and literally go in this book and look for areas to try to say that something is wrong, is something wrong with you. Because this is nothing but a book of principles. And if you see it as a book of principles, they'll save your life. They will save your life. There's a principle that says if you give, it shall be given unto you. By good measure, pressed down, shake it together, run it over, shall men give into your bosom, is what it says. Literally, there are principles in this book that literally cannot be changed. And when he's talking about giving, he's talking about making sure that you do it in the right context of how it is supposed to be done. Like it's supposed to be done. Not sitting down because somebody burnt you and things didn't go right with this preacher. That preacher didn't do right. And that one did. Man, that's them people. That, you know what I'm saying? No, I done been burnt before by some preachers. I don't care. That's them people. But you still not going to move me off of God.
Amen.
Because he don't change.
Amen.
You know the lesson you should have learned? The Bible says, put not thy confidence in man. You had too much confidence in them. That's why I be telling y'all, don't put no confidence in me. Don't do it. Y'all know I go to cussing. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I ain't got confidence in me.
I believe that's what happened to Mama and Aunt Allison. They're so bitter about this because you can't tell Mama nothing about no time. That's your church view. Ain't no sense. I mean, she just go all out.
Yeah. I'm telling you, when someone has been wounded in a church, particularly by the leadership, they go out on this scavenger hunt and they start looking for things that's in the opposite direction of where they came from. And then you'll mess around and find yourself done detoured too far from the faith. God help me. Holy Spirit activate. You will be done detoured too far away from the faith, honey, and done got yourself in a whole bunch of mess. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't care what they do. I done had more than one preacher to burn me in these 20-something years that I done been in this gospel. Literally, I done had more than one to do it. And the thing about it, I ain't studying now one of them. And I mean that because I'm looking at the principles. I'm not looking at the person.
Right.
I'm looking at the principle, what the principles say. If I work the principle is what's going to yield the harvest. Not the person, because this is the thing. I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. I'll get a little bit bolder with it. This is what Paul said. He said, I, Paul, plant, and Apollos water. He said, but God gives the increase. That's what he said. So basically he's saying whatever you do, you better make sure you're doing it for the Lord, because that's where your increase is going to come from. I don't care. You got people now that won't give to us because they think they paying for some cruises. Stupid self. My credit card paid for them. That's why they maxed out. Now then. So see, that's what I'm saying. But they think silly like that. So they don't want to give because they think, see, that's the wrong mentality. When what you need to do is you just need to give, and the Lord will cause the increase based off of the fact that you gave, not because of the fact that you did it for me. But what is the withholding getting you?
Nothing. A whole bunch of nothing. A bunch of trouble.
That's religious people.
That's religious people. Let me tell you something about kingdom people. Kingdom people know how to handle hurt.
Yes.
Kingdom people could have a fence. They could walk in a fence a lot if they wanted to.
If they wanted to.
If they wanted to, you could live in a fence. Every day, I'm talking about closed in a fence. If you wanted to. Because you're already different. And because you're different, you are being handled differently. Mm-hmm. You are being spoke against because you're different. Religion, there's not much being spoke against religious folk because they have too much in common. So it's not much that they say about each other because even the Bible says the world love its own. Mm-hmm. They stick together. And so there's not much that's being said about religious folk. But there is a lot being said about kingdom folk. Because kingdom folk look different. Kingdom people live differently. Kingdom people behave differently. So there is a lot that's being said about kingdom folk. Now, religion lives in a place of offense. It does. It literally sees everything that's going wrong and has a problem with it. Religion does. And so when we're talking about the fact of, and I'm talking this about the finances for a reason, and it is because the Lord provoked me this morning. And I heard him very, very, very clear. Isaiah 41 is where I want y'all to go. The Lord provoked me this morning, and I've got to share this with y'all because I'm going to tell you something. Even though there's a level of warfare that is been prophesied that is coming into the earth, I need to tell y'all, God people going to be okay. That's what I'm trying to tell you. God's people are going to be okay. God's people are going to be okay. Even though there is a level, Isaiah 41, you can remember that. Isaiah 41. This is the thing about it. You know, you can write it down because you need to read that or something so you can write it down. Yeah. Just put your phone on Zoom while you ride. You can hear.
But I'm still on putting on Isaiah. But I got to tell you what I wrote down when I got in. God said a powerful turnaround is about to take place because of obedience.
Exactly. That's what's fixing to happen.
I wrote it down.
It's a turnaround coming. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a shift. Yeah, it's a shift. It's a shift. Yeah, it's a major shift. Anybody, all right, love you too, be safe. Anybody, I'm telling you, it is a shift that is coming. A turnaround. It's a turnaround. It's all. I'm not gonna move. I'm not gonna move. Isaiah 41. I'm talking to y'all. I'm particularly dealing tonight. I'm gonna deal with your finances. It can hit all areas, but I'm gonna really deal with these finances for us. Yeah, and so I want y'all to go to Isaiah 41 and go to verse 13. Let's start at verse 13. I wish I could do it all, but now the caption for that chapter reads, Israel is assured of God's help. Y'all hear that? Israel is assured of God's help. Trying to tell you he's about to help us. Israel is assured of God's help. Wow. Wish I could do this whole, man. I probably need to teach this whole chapter. I may get into it on Saturday morning and start teaching this whole chapter. But I need to know, first of all, do anybody need God's help? You know, and that let me know if I'm in the right place. All right, needs God help, you know. I tell y'all this right here. I am a kingdom person, and not very many things move me, but I still need God's help. Amen. There's still some things I need God to fix. I would really like to be debt free. Amen. So there are some things that I do need God to fix. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I may have, you know what I'm saying? But I really would like to be able to keep what I have. You ain't lying. Now then, okay? It's good to be able to pay my bills, but I would like to be able to just say, ain't got none. I can put that up. Okay, all right. Because I would just like to travel, if the truth be told. All right, verse 13. Verse 13, Isaiah 41, verse 13. It says, for I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand. Tell him thank you. Amen. Saying unto thee, fear not, I will help you. Woo-hoo-hoo. Boy, that's enough right there. Fear not, for I'm going to help you. Verse 14 says, fear not thy worm, Jacob. Look at that. You're not too big, he says. And ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee, this is the verse I want for y'all. I want y'all to catch this. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Can you say that's my mouth?
That's my mouth.
Threshing means to cut. So I'm going to literally cause your mouth to cut through some ground. So all you got to learn to do is use your mouth. And that's it. And I'm going to cause your mouth got teeth. I'm going to cause your mouth to literally cut through all of the adversities that's coming against you. All you got to do is speak against it. Lord, help me. All you got to do is speak against it. I told y'all it's darkness, what you should be saying. Let there be light. See how you spoke it? All God did was came through as a threshing instrument when the earth was void and it was dark, it says, and it was void and darkness was upon the face of the deep. All the Lord came through was with his threshing, his mouth full of teeth, and literally said, "Let there be light," and there it was. Your mouth has the answer. Your mouth has the answer. Your mouth has the answer.
I wonder what that is there. What's the real meaning behind it when they say the kids got thresh or threshing in their mouth?
Well, that's thrush or something they call it. I don't know. This is a threshing instrument. That's what they go through and cut in the fields, the threshing. He says, "Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing."
Just because normally when they get thrash in their mouth, that's when their teeth come up after.
I don't know. I have to ponder in that one. I know I thought they call that thrush or thrash. Thrash. It's not threshing.
Threshing is like piercing.
Mm-hmm.
Piercing,
It's
right?
cutting. Yeah, it's coming through. It's cutting through. But I can see what you're talking about with the coming up, how the teeth comes up. I don't know.
Threshing is like taking a sling blade and going out.
Yeah, and just cutting. Yeah. And that's what he says. "Behold, I will make thee." But look at the next word. He says, "I will make thee what kind?" What kind of sharp? A new sharp. A new sharp. So what that means is you're going to talk differently than you used to. You're going to handle things differently than you used to. You're not going to be still talking the same way you talk. You're not going to still be doing things the same way you used to. When the Lord done got a hold of you, you notice what he called Jacob. He called Jacob a worm. You see in the last text, he called Jacob a worm. What he was saying is you weak in your own strength, boy. Now I got to come help you, and I'm going to make you new. Why? Because I'm going to put something in your mouth. See, you trying to handle this on your own. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I want you to stop trying to handle stuff on your own and put this stuff in the Lord's hand. Therefore, you're going to get in trouble. Put this stuff in the Lord's hand. Stop trying to handle it on your own. When you are trying to handle it on your own, you won't even open your mouth. Because guess what? You won't even talk to God about it. You be trying to figure it out yourself. You won't even talk to God about it. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to handle this. I have to figure out how I'm going to take care of this. See, you ain't saying nothing to God. You haven't, because you are counting on relying on your own strength. You're relying on your own ability. And so therefore, because you're relying on your own ability, God can't make it anew. But he says, look, I'm going to literally, behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains. Look at what he say. Listen here. You see that? Says you're going to thresh some mountains. So what that's saying right there, Dina, is it don't matter how big that situation is, you're going to cut it down. It doesn't matter how big it is, you're going to cut it down.
Just trust in him.
It doesn't matter how big it is, you're going to cut it down. You're going to thresh mountains, he says, and you're going to beat them small. And thou shalt make the hills as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and shall glory in the Holy One of Israel. The Lord is saying, I'm going to get that mess out from around you. It's not even going to be in your environment anymore. I'm going to get that mess out from around you. But I cannot do it, Jacob, as long as you're a worm. I cannot do it as long as you are relying in your own strength. As long as you are counting on yourself, I cannot do it. You have literally got to allow me to make you new. Allow me to produce a change in you. Nothing has changed because you haven't changed. Nothing has changed because you haven't changed. Nothing has changed because you haven't changed. A change will produce a change. You go in with a better attitude, they'll have one. A change will produce a change. Verse 15 again, let's go down and let's look at it real good. Because I want y'all to understand. I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. What are you saying out your mouth? Every situation that you're dealing with right now, be honest about it. What are you saying out your mouth about it?
This is my hurt. What I gotta do now?
See?
Well, I gotta keep doing that.
See?
I'm sick of it. I'm tired, man. Shoot.
See?
I'm tired of fighting the same old thing.
See?
Every time I turn around.
See? See what I'm saying?
But just notice it's like even with me saying that it's I'm aggravated. Okay, we'll move.
That's what he told Jacob. Fear not thou worm, Jacob. Oh God, guess what I just heard? Guess what I just heard God say? Just then when I looked at that and I read that. He said, fear not thy worm, Jacob. What I heard the Lord say was Jacob was upset because he couldn't control it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Pretty much.
Jacob was upset because it was out of his control.
It's like, I can't do nothing.
And he was upset. When you are a person that's used to being in control, you have a hard time coming into the kingdom. Woo, baby, when I tell you the kingdom whoop their fiends' butt. You hear me? When you are used to being in control, Jesus Christ, man, coming over into this kingdom was whooping my butt. Because in this kingdom, you got to relinquish stuff. I got to let that go too? Yeah. I got to let that go too? Yeah. I got to quit doing that? Yeah. I put that down? Yeah. I got it. What am I going to have?
Nothing. I did.
Yeah.
But holding nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. Hey, you going to take that too, God? Yeah. You going to take that too? Yeah. I can't keep that. No. Get out of the way. Yeah. You know, wait a minute. I got, sow that out. What? Yeah, sow it. What? Yeah, you know, when God leave, man. I got so aggravated, man. I hauled up and told him, y'all asking me to do stuff I can't do. I said, it's just too hard. That's what I said. I said, this too hard.
Make you feel like, oh, they can't get
I said, this too hard. Yeah. Yeah, I said, this too hard. Lord have mercy. I've had folk leave here because they said this was too hard. It's too hard up there with her. It's too hard. But see, that's when you know. That's what he said. Said, I can't never do nothing right. That's what they said. They said, I can't never do nothing right. She complained about everything. I can't never do nothing right. But see, that's when you know that you being groomed. That's when you know you are being groomed for the kingdom. The Lord is trying to take you out of religion and trying to birth you into the kingdom. That's what happens, because what you find out is when you get into the kingdom, you look back at all that stuff and see, man, I was messed up. I don't want to go back over there. I was really messed up. Jesus Christ, I was like that. I wouldn't have dealt with me neither. I see why them people didn't like me. You know, you literally, that's how you feel.
I got attitude like that. I know you lied. Oh.
Man, I saw myself and was crying. Because you don't see yourself in religion. Because religion make excuses for everything. Religion does not want to humble down. Religion does not want to surrender. Religion does not want to submit. So it makes excuses for everything. So you don't see no reason. You will make an excuse like this right here. Well, they shouldn't have said that. If they wouldn't have said that, I wouldn't have said what I said. See, that's what religion do. But the kingdom said don't respond like that. Right. Just because they did it, don't mean you do it. That's what the kingdom will tell you. You know, well, you must didn't hear what they said. Yeah, I heard what they said, but that's not your rights. You don't respond like that because that's what they said. But see, in religion, it's a clapback. No, baby, I got to get that back. You know, I got to know if he wouldn't have said this, I wouldn't have said that. If she wouldn't have done this, I wouldn't have done that. You know, that's how it is in religion. But in the kingdom, it's not like that because the kingdom sees it from a whole different perspective. The kingdom realizes that I'm responsible for me.
For me.
I want peace, whether you tortured or not. I won't go to sleep. I don't want to be tormented. I don't want that.
He will vindicate you.
He will. He will. Just let him handle it. He will. He will. There's a scripture in the Bible where the man said, avenge me of mine adversaries. And God will do it. He will avenge you. The Lord is not going to allow them adversaries to stay on you. The only reason why, or the only way the Lord would allow adversaries to stay on you is if you literally are refusing to change. And then that's when he turns you over and he allows those things to happen. But he has literally been there the whole entire time trying to communicate to say, get out of this. Don't do that. Stop that. Quit that, please. Change this right here. Don't do that. Put that over there. See, this is the thing that I've learned about God. The Lord will send a word to you even in a cave. He'll send a word to you even in a cave. There is not a dark place you can go that the Lord can't find you and send no word. They penned a song years ago that says if he has to reach way down, Jesus will pick you up. Literally, the Lord will come into the lowest places just to get to what he needs to get to and to pull you out. He will literally do that. And so the Lord said, I've already came to you on several occasions to try to talk to you about this. I've already made myself accessible to you on several occasions, but you are choosing to not yield to me. You are choosing to just do your own thing. And so what people think, that's when people get into that about the reprobated mind. That is, the Bible says, I will leave you to believe a lie. It's what he's saying is, and it's not always the lie of the devil. Sometimes it's the lie you telling yourself that the Lord will leave you to believe. You up here telling yourself that, this is how it is. This ain't gonna never change and all this old kind of stuff. And I ain't finna put up with this. And this is just the way I am. And okay, well, I tell you what, I done already sent somebody to you to talk to you about that, to talk to you about the change. Well, you don't want to receive the change. Well, I'm gonna let you believe this lie. And so when you believe this lie, you go ahead and take the consequences that come with this lie. Because there's always going to be a consequence with the lie. So you reprobate means that you accept the consequence. That's what it means. That's what reprobate means. Accept the consequence. There is no room for repentance. I accept the consequence. No room. I'm not changing it. Period. Give me my time. I'm not changing it. Give me my sentence. That's what reprobate is. Give me my sentence. I'm not changing it. I'm not repenting. Yeah, I shot the sheriff. I sure did. And I'm not sorry for it. I'll shoot him again. I'm the joker that shot him and then stood over him and shot him again. That's what I did. That's a reprobate. A reprobate is that junk Aunt Sila did when he was over there at that trial by Michael Davis, when he talked that stuff that he was talking, like he had no remorse for what it was that he did. That's a reprobate mind right there. And so you take your consequence then. They said life without, they was looking at. All right, that's your consequence. See, to be reprobate means I accept my consequence. I don't want no room for repentance. There was a reprobate thief on the cross. Two thieves was beside Jesus. The Bible called both of them a thief. Two of them was beside him. One was reprobate, one wasn't. The one that was reprobate did not repent, took the consequence of death. But the one that was not reprobate, he repented. The one, he was taking the consequence of death. They said, oh, no, man, they let the wrong one go. They let the wrong one go. See, they literally did not want. They let the wrong one go. The one that had to repent for heart, he had to say to Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus says to him, this day shall thou be with me in paradise. The one that didn't change, turned loose.
God's doing something with the reprobated mind.
Yeah,
Because today, this is where I began my lesson, and I began to type the reprobated mind.
Remember, I said something about that the other day.
Yeah,
It's
God was
the,
dealing with
it's the
Sharika.
mindset, and
Shit, kid, loud woman.
it's the mindsets of people and where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mindset, because wherever our mindset is, it goes into the heart. This is what is coming Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So God's doing something really big right there.
Mm-hmm. He's about to reveal it.
Ha, ha.
He's about to reveal it. He's about to reveal it. It's reprobate minds in the church. They can't come in the kingdom. The kingdom won't accept it. The kingdom won't accept it. You can't get into the kingdom like that. The kingdom, man, listen, check this out. Let me show y'all something. He put flaming swords at those cherubs at those doors of the Garden of Eden. But they could not get back in now because of that tree of life that was in there. They didn't want them to get back to that, because if they got back to that tree of life, they would live and never die. So they didn't want them to get back to it. So he closed it off by putting those cherubs down. The thing of it is you can literally, when the veil was torn inside of the temple, the veil was torn in an act of repentance. It brought forgiveness back. That's why it went backwards, because it covered all the things that had been left uncovered. It literally covered those things. And so there is reprobates. It can't get in the kingdom. But there are reprobates inside of church, because churches are full of religion. They are full of religion, not necessarily full of relation.
Hallelujah.
They're not taking the time to teach the people. It's the watering of the word that changes you.
Yes.
I don't care what nobody say. You can get your butt up there and sing, hear them songs, and you can cry and all this old kind of stuff. But it ain't until the word gets you that changes you. David was a man that loved instruments. But this is what David said. Thy word, O Lord, have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. He didn't say thy instrument, thy piano, thy keyboard, did he? He didn't say thy drum or anything do I listen to, Lord. Now, what the Bible did say about the instrument was that the instruments brought soothing. You cannot mistake soothing with change. And that's what happens. People mistake soothing with change. I don't need to be soothed when I'm a bad sinner like I was. I need to be changed. I don't need you soothing my demons. You don't want to soothe my demons. Because I had the kind that would do some stuff. I'm much better converted than I am a sinner. You don't want to soothe mine. No. You might want to let the word get a hold of them and change them. So it's the word that literally makes the difference. And so that's what you see. And what is happening with the reprobate means that I accept my consequence. That's all they're saying. I accept it.
Thank you for the word.
Mm-hmm. I accept it. I accept my consequence. That's what a reprobate means. Because the Lord is saying, he said, I will turn you over to a reprobate mind. And so that is someone that the Lord has said, look, man, I done all I can here. You know, I've done all I can. I've done all I can. Now, some folk would say that God don't run out. Well, if that's true, then that word right there is a lie. I tell you another scripture that I often quote for y'all that would prove it to be a lie. It says, do not frustrate the grace of God. So then, that means God will get sick of you. When he done tried to tell you something, trying to keep communicating to you, and you sitting there with a block, God going, hey, look here, that's something you want. I'm going to let you have that. I'm going to give it to you. You go ahead. Now, let me tell you this before you go. That's your consequence. I can't change it. I can't change it. And then when they go, what they're saying is I accept that consequence. That's what they're saying. I accept that consequence. So then folk come and ask, well, what is such and such at in that consequence? You're not going to go get them? That's what they said they wanted to be. That's what they said they wanted to do. Do you know how many times I did go get them? You know how many times I showed up to go get them? How many times I talked to them? How many sessions I had with them? Do you know? It wasn't that they were just sent away. They went away. That's a reprobate. A reprobate is not sent away, it went away. They chose the flesh.
But the difference between the prodigal son is he allowed his change to come in.
That's right. He wasn't prodigal. He was just trying to live, being hard-headed. He wasn't prodigal. He wasn't reprobate. He wasn't reprobate. He was just trying to live. He had no mess around and allowed us to sing something. And he let it drew his attention. But there was still an element of him that still had truth.
I always remember that if you're a Christian and you're truly for the Lord and the Lord lives in you, God is not going to let you stay in that reprobate mind. That spirit, that Holy Spirit will come and convict you. Now, if you don't listen to that conviction, then he'll turn it over. He's going to keep telling you, but then after so many times,
That boy wasn't reprobate. If he was reprobate, he wouldn't have heard.
True.
He wasn't reprobate. Them reprobates don't hear.
that's right. They blind to everything.
Them reprobates don't hear, man. You talk them reprobates and have your head hurt. They're not going to hear. That's them folk that say, I don't care what you say.
It's what I believe.
Yeah, this is the way I believe it, and that's just how it is. That's the reprobate mind right there. It's not willing to change. And you have to be careful because there are stages to reprobation. There are stages to reprobation. See, the stages is the initial onset of. That's going to be your first stage is the initial onset of. So that's when the sin is, the Bible talks about when sin is conceived, then it brings forth death. So the stages to the reprobation is the conception. That means that I done literally gave myself to something now. So I done joined myself with something, whether it's a lie or what. I've joined myself with it. And what it does is it comes with a mental block. It will not allow you. It will not allow you. Nothing can get past that mental block. That's when I ain't changing. I ain't doing it. No. See, because nothing can get past that mental block. So the conception, when it's sown, when it is released inside, the first thing it does, block. It's the first stage of it. It shoots the block. It goes in and it hardens. And so now so what happens is it's done went in and it's done hardened. But then here comes Pastor Lee. And Pastor Lee trying to talk to you about it. And she can't get nowhere. She done talked to you one time. She done come and talk to you 2 times. The Lord done woke her up out of sleep. She done come again. And all. But it's still not getting nowhere. It still ain't changing. It's not sinking in. It ain't shifting. It's not changing. It's because it's a reprobate. See, the stage of reprobation done started taking place. And it's literally locked in and it doesn't want to change. Let me tell y'all what I just heard the Holy Spirit say. The Lord said, I want you to tell them that there is family curses of reprobation. Okay, all right. I just told them, Lord. Family curses are reprobation. Reprobation can be in your bloodline, and you mess around and it come into you because it's in your bloodline. Reprobation. None of the folks in your family, well, I ain't putting up with this. Man, no, my mama didn't put up with it, and my mama's mama didn't put up with it, and her mama didn't put up with it. You know, that's reprobation. Reprobation. Going down the line. Reprobation. You can teach reprobation. Put the wrong thing in somebody, and you're going to teach them reprobation. So then truth comes, trying to get in, but can't get in. Because the wall of reprobation, the conception of reprobation is there. And so what happens is when it's conceived, next part, when it's conceived, this is the thing about it. Now it starts going into the stages of it, you know, where you got like pregnancy. It goes into the stages of it. And so what happens is in the trimesters now. And so what happens is that block, see, there's still another side. That block is only got this one side. You got to allow it to keep messing with you in order to take you over.
Yeah.
You got to keep feeding that. So it just takes over. It keeps growing. It keeps growing. The conception got it in now. But now you got to keep feeding that thing and feeding that thing. And so what happens is, let me show you how smart the devil is. The Lord just showed it to me. This is what the devil will do. Once you don't allow something to penetrate you, boy, he'll keep hammering on it till he gets you where he wants you. He'll keep hammering on it. You ever seen a situation like with a husband and a wife, and they go through something? And then, you know, and it's a rough situation that they maybe went through, but they make a decision, you know, they going to try to work this thing out. But then it's like, he just keep doing it. Every time I turn around, he just keep doing it. See, that conception was put in there. And so what it's trying to do is it's trying to overtake. And so what he does is he just keep letting it happen. Because he know every time it keep happening,
Wearing her down.
boy, it's getting worse and worse and worse. Until now, she reprobate, you know, she's saying, I don't want it no more.
I'm tired.
She
Go
numb.
on, do what you want to do.
I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
She numb. She's numb. She's numb, literally, because it just keeps happening. That's the reason why the Bible tells you don't let the sun go down. It's specific reasons why God says there.
That's right.
It sets up reprobation. Reprobation has been mistaken by the church to thinking that that's just somebody that don't believe in God. You can be reprobated in your marriage. You can be reprobated in a lot of areas. You can be reprobated with a friend. You done got so offended with them till you just done close them off, you know, and it's just you can be reprobated in many areas, because all it means is to accept the consequence. That's all it means. I take the consequence.
God will convict you of it. He will definitely come and speak to you about it.
If you make it to reprobation, God done already came and spoke to you. God done already came and spoke to you if you make it to reprobation. You don't just go to reprobation. That's Romans 1. Go there. That's Romans 1. You don't just go to reprobation. That's it. You don't just go. Y'all go there. So look at you. You do not just become reprobated. God done already.
Romans 4:28.
So, all right. So this is where I want y'all to go. Ooh, Lord. Y'all been just, I can't hardly, y'all know I have to be careful because I'm a teacher. And I eat up the word. I be looking at scriptures. I want one scripture, and before I know it, I done got 20. All right. So I tell you what I'm gonna do. Um,
Yes.
okay. All right. So let me just grab little pieces of it so I can teach y'all something in this right here. All right. So this is what I want y'all to do. He's talking to the Romans church, and he's talking to them about their forms of godliness, about how they're so religious, and they've literally created their own gods because they're not accepting this Christ that's done been offered to them. So he's showing them the condition that they are in. This is a letter he's writing to them about the condition that they're in. Now he's saying Christ has literally been shown to you, but you ain't studying him because of this. And so this is what. So now go down to verse 23. Let's start. I'm going to show you some different things. I'm going to skip over. Let's start with the first part of verse 23. He says, look, and change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like unto corruptible man. See what he says? He says, look here, y'all done changed the whole nature of how God wants things to be. And you done made it now to a corruptible man and to birds and to four-footed beasts and creeping things. So now y'all done set up here and done created your own gods. Some of y'all over here worshiping birds. Some of y'all over here worshiping stars and all. You done made your own God because that's what you do when you done got in that type of predicament. You will make your own God. That's what I was trying to tell y'all a while ago about people when I was talking about the people that go against the tithes and offerings and all that stuff. It is because they've gotten in a position where they're making their own gods now. So this is what he's saying to them. Okay, so look now about them making their own God. Look what he says, verse 24. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanliness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. So he's giving indication saying, look at him, you start worshiping something else other than me.
You're going to be in trouble.
To the left, everything you own's in a box to the left. Verse 25. Who changed the truth? Here go another one. Done changed the truth of God into a lie. I ain't doing it. I'm sorry. If I start tripping, y'all get out of here and leave me. Go find somebody else to sit under. If I start changing that truth into a lie, do not follow me. Let me go by myself.
Right.
They done changed the truth into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator who is blessed forever. That's folk right there that want to serve their cars, their houses, their jobs and all. That's them.
Come on.
That's them. They worshiping the creature more than the creator. I love my man more than I love God. The devil is a lie. I love my wife more than I love God. The devil is a lie. Worshiping the creature more than the creator. Okay, I just heard the Holy Spirit. Let me tell y'all this. He said this is for the people. And folks won't just say that out their mouth, but they literally live that out their hearts because they literally will not. I mean, they literally put them before God for real. But they don't do it in a manner of saying it out their mouth that they doing it, but they do it, their actions. You don't understand? They literally care more about what they got to say than what God got to say about things. Okay. Verse 26 says, for this cause, God gave them up into vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Lord have mercy. They want toys. They buying them roses. They lost their natural affection. To the left. I don't want no roses. They got thorns.
Show up.
Verse 27 says, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one towards another. Look at that. Looking at a man and want him more than they want a woman. Men with men working that which is unseemly and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. I want y'all to pay attention to that. Receiving in themselves. Receiving in themselves. Receiving in themselves. That recompense or the reward of their error, which was meet. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge. That's the problem right there.
Yeah.
That's the problem right there. Not wanting to retain God. So that means I came and talked to you, and you heard me while I was talking, but
Put in one ear and off the other.
didn't
When
retain it.
I be talking.
That's it. Didn't retain it. Didn't retain it. Didn't retain the knowledge that was given. It says God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient.
Oh, man. So,
Even the churches can be in reprobation. So you have to be very careful.
You have to be very careful. You know, that's why I talked to myself just a while ago before I got up here to the building. And I've shared this intimate with y'all. I seen online where somebody was having something, and the guy that was doing the music, they know he gay. Because they told me he gay. They know it. They know it. And he was doing the music. And I was standing in my kitchen, and I said, Lord, I'm not judging them. I hope I ain't. Please help me to not be. I really hope I'm not. I said, but that kind of stuff like that, I don't want no parts of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't believe that, you know what I mean? People say they're little sin. There ain't no little sins. All sin is sin. I get it. But there are certain levels of sin. There's certain levels of sin. If it wasn't certain levels of sin, it wouldn't be harder to come back from some than others.
true.
There's certain sin got different levels. You know what I'm saying? You think about it. When you were growing up, you stole a piece of bubble gum. Well, a piece of bubble gum ain't but that big. Next thing you know, you stealing cars. Cars real big. See? So you stealing cars. You see what I'm saying? So it just keeps intensifying. It just keeps going. And so I'm like, mm-mm. And plus two, with me, it depends on the condition of where you are. If I see that there is a prodigal in you, that's different. Because there's still a hope for a prodigal. But there's no hope for a reprobate.
Yeah.
You better hear what I'm saying to you. There's no hope for a reprobate. There is hope for a prodigal. That'll preach, y'all. There is hope for a prodigal, but there's no hope for a reprobate. So now, if they know they going with a man and I ain't finna stop going with men. That's just what I'm gonna do. And that's just who I am. I ain't finna stop going with it. That's just what I'm going to do. Well, you go on right on over there, baby. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Don't worry about it. I touch my mic, I kill you. Don't, you know.
There's no hope for a reprobate because he's already turned over.
He's already turned them over. That's right. They've already been turned over. And when you look at it, look what he was saying. That right there is what gets you turned over to it. Y'all better don't change the Bible, y'all. That's what it says. Okay, look what it said. Verse 27 again. It says, now go to 26. For this cause God gave them up into vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise, so there go the woman now. That's talking about the women that's fooling with the women. They done changed their natural affection. Then it says 27. And likewise, also the men did it too. Leaving the natural use of the woman, they burnt in their lust one towards another. Men with men working that which is unseemly and receiving in themselves that recompense or reward of their error, which was meat. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. That's what he burnt them up for.
She said they wouldn't quit.
They wouldn't quit. The Lord sent the intercessor. Look in Genesis 18. And when you look in Genesis 18, you will see where Abraham became an intercessor for them, ran God down, and begged God not to kill Sodom and Gomorrah. And the Lord changed his mind. The Bible said the Lord repented, which means to turn. The Lord changed his mind about killing them folk because of intercession, but they wouldn't quit. They thought, we're going to still keep doing this. I don't care how much them folks praying. I don't care. See, keep playing with this stuff if you want to. I don't care how much them folk praying. I don't care how much Pastor Lee try to send stuff to me. Pastor Lee try to help me, try to talk to me. I ain't finna stop what I'm doing. Okay, I tell you what, the Lord says it's on. Go on, get out of my way. Get out my face, Abraham. Don't even come this time. They got to go.
So that would be one of those instances where you're covering them as an intercessor, and God has you cover a particular person, and then they think of God. So you cover them.
He'll take it from you. He'll release you. When he done turned them over, he'll release you. He won't even do it. And they be running around thinking they got this. What them folk had. Them folk had a form of godliness. They had a form of godliness. And Paul was calling them on it in his letter. You got a form of godliness. You don't even understand that you ain't in there, see. And see, this is the thing about it right here. Let me tell y'all something why they don't trick me. I'm going to tell you why they don't trick me. Fresh revelation changes you.
Amen. Amen.
Fresh revelation gonna change you. Y'all better not let these folks trick y'all. They ain't shrieking me like my grandbaby used to say. Who was she trying to shriek me? She ain't shrieking me. Fresh revelation changes you. The word changes you. So if you end up spending all that time in the word and you running into the house of God every week and the word, why that word can't get you out of bed with that woman? Why that word can't get you out of bed with that man? 2 men, 2 women. Why? Why? If you also caught up in the word, why you ain't seeing no change? Because it's a form. It's a religious ritual. It's trying to cut a deal with God. He ain't going to take that deal. Sodom and Gomorrah couldn't cut now. Jesus Christ gave the deal on Calvary. Jesus gave the deal on Calvary, y'all. You showing up ain't cutting no deal with God. I'm telling y'all what's gonna get us, bring Jesus back, get us destroyed. All that homosexuality.
Do you see all of the stuff that it has caused just by that?
That's what's gonna cause the Lord to come back. It's got to happen because that's what's gonna bring him back. You understand? So it's got to happen. The thing that you do is I really don't even see no need of praying that it don't happen. What I see is making sure that you protect yourself, that it don't get you. So that's what you do. You have to make sure that you stay out of certain arenas so it don't get you. You understand? You know what I'm saying? I'll be looking at women, and you know what I'm saying? All that, you know, to make sure that stuff don't get you. No, they don't want to be sitting up in your ear all the time and all that kind of stuff like that. You know, whatever it is that brings that about, you got to make sure that you don't let that get you. Being having too much testosterone and not enough estrogen, that'll get you. You understand? Because see, they scouting. They out looking to see who they can get. They out looking. They out looking. Yes, Lord. They out looking to see who they can get. Looking to see if it's any dough, any stone left that they looking to see. If it's one unturned, they looking to see if they can get it. If they can get in. So the thing of it is literally keeping yourself, because that's going to be, but it doesn't have to be with me.
Amen.
That's the way I look at it. That's going to be, but it doesn't have to be with me. The Bible said it like this: so as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man return. That's what it say. And it uses Noah because that's what they were doing. They was full of homosexuality, full of lesbianism.
They was just cutting up and everything that God told them not to.
Yep. And so he said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man return. So then that means we can't stop it. That it's going to be, but what I can stop is I can stop it from getting me.
Amen.
If I keep myself, you know, and I protect myself, I watch myself. Now, what I don't do is I don't bash them folk.
Right.
You understand? I don't do that. And I don't say stuff like, oh, no, I don't say that because, no. I just make sure that I keep myself in the love of God and I try to stay away. A lot of times I educate myself on how folk got in things, so I know to stay away from that. Like if they tell me, you know, I was saying, well, how did you get into that? You know, I mean, what happened? Well, me and my husband was having problems and stuff, and things just wasn't going well for us, and you know, and we started hanging out together all the time, you know, and we would just, talk on the phone, and then we ended up going and taking, a few trips and stuff like that, and and she, what I'm saying, was comforting me, was just there for me, like I needed somebody to be there for me, and the next thing I know, it happened. Well, see, this is what Delphine gonna do. Delphine gonna make sure that she don't let you be comforting her, and being there for her, so don't nothing happen. See, she gonna make sure she stay away from that, so she don't get caught in that. Now, she ain't finna bash you about the fact that that happened to you. I'm gonna pray for you. You know what I'm saying? To get free from that. But I'm gonna make sure that you can learn a lot from a dummy. That's how I live. That's why I tell people my testimony, because you can learn a lot from a dummy. You don't have to do it if you will listen to me. I just told you how I got in that mess. So why would you allow yourself to get in it? I just told you that. So why would you allow yourself to get in that? Why would you allow yourself to get put in that situation? I just told you what to look out for. So therefore, you don't judge them. But what you do, what you doing? Oh. So what you do is you literally, you have to be careful. It do you good a lot of times to find out how errors took place, so you know how not to make that same error. It doesn't mean that you judging, but it do you good to find out, well, what did y'all do? Ask people questions when they'll testify. When they're willing to testify to tell you what happened, don't be ashamed to ask them, well, what happened? How did y'all get to that place? What went like that? What made y'all get to that place? And then they tell you, so what you do is if that ever come with you, don't get down. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You need to be careful. People that are married, need to be careful about who they let console them anyway. A married person doesn't even need, a married woman doesn't even need to have a man consoling her. Because, well, the next, he was talking to me, and, Johnny we were having problems. And, so every day I came in, Johnny was, he had just being mean and he wasn't happy. And I would call Larry and he would talk to me and was just nice to me. And then one day, he asked me if I wanted to come over to his house. And I went over there and drank coffee and stuff with him. And the next thing I know, it happened. You see? So, mm-mm. Not with as much lasciviousness as out here now. You got to be careful. It said the young girls, hey, it said the young girls, you protect yourself. It said the young girls too. They said 90% of Enterprise High School was lesbians. Took them over. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If she got boobs like you, no. Can I touch you there? Rub this. Don't even do it. Dressing out with PE, pay attention to who looking. Usually it's going to be them girls that, it used to be them girls that went off by themselves that were ashamed to do the dressing out in front of other folk. That was usually because they was trying to hide the fact that they liked the girls. That's done shifted now. Now it's the wide open ones that don't care. They just doing it. Yeah, the times done shifted. Be very, very, very careful. Nope. They set these young folk to try to corrupt them. So I believe, y'all, we've got to literally be careful. But I'm telling y'all, my main thing that I wanted to share with y'all tonight for y'all to get was to understand that I did in Isaiah is to realize that the Lord has made your mouth a threshing, new, sharp threshing instrument. Put your mouth to work. Let your mouth work for you. Let your mouth work for you. Literally. Cause things to change with your mouth. I speak to my finances now that they increase.
Amen.
I speak to every debt that I got that it be paid in full. I speak to my body and command this healing from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. That every system in my body has to line up with the word of the Lord. I speak to this ministry that it increase. I speak to this ministry that favor bombards it. I speak to this ministry that souls be added to it, that purpose comes forth out of it. I speak literally over all y'all marriages that they thrive, that they survive, and that they go forth, and that you literally be together until death do you part, and even after then they remember you. I speak that over your marriages. I speak over the single ladies, that the single ladies becomes wives and kingdom wives at that. I literally speak over the children that of this house, that those children be protected, they be preserved, the grandchildren be protected and they be preserved. I literally speak to everything that has darkness attached to it in our lives. I speak and say, let there be light. In the name of Jesus, let there be light, God. Father, right now, now, God. I speak to everyone, every spirit that is coming against this house, God. I speak to it now and command it back to the pits of hell from whence it come, Father. Every wagging tongue against this house, I literally come against it in the name of Jesus and send it back to the pits of hell, back to the sender, Father. And I thank you that they shall see us triumph. They shall see us come through. They shall literally see us ride through, Father, on chariots. They shall literally see you be the Lord God, strong and mighty in battle. They shall literally see you, Father, do exceeding and abundantly above all that we ask. They shall literally see you be king. They shall literally round about, the Bible says, you will lift us up, our head up round about our enemies, which will allow us to see exactly what it is that they want to do. But Father, I thank you that though weapons may form against us, they shall not prosper, God. I thank you that we are solid in the things of you, Father, that we are concrete in the things of you, Father. I thank you, Lord, that we, Father, denounce anything that is not of you, Father. We detach ourselves from the things that do not produce you, God. We detach ourselves from the things, Father, that does not inherit you, Father. We detach ourselves from the things that do not keep us, Father, with you, Lord. We literally reject and refute those things, God, and we cast them away from us, Lord. God, I thank you that you are even in washing, you're washing our brains, Father. You're literally washing our systems with the word of the Lord, Father. Let the word of the Lord sit upon our head, Father, and literally run down as it ran down Aaron's beard, Father. And Father, you said in your word, it was there that you commanded the blessing, God. We thank you for the blessing, the commandment of the blessing to be upon this house, God. Where there is unity, there shall be the commandment of the blessing, God. I thank you that we are unified, Father. And we thank you that you are bona fide, Father. And we thank you that we are not denied, Father, but that you pour out the blessings, God. That you pour out the peace, that you pour out the love, that you pour out the hope, God, that you pour out the reassurance, Lord. We thank you for doing it in the name of Jesus, God. Let our mouths be as a ready pen.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, God.
Yes, Lord.
As a ready pen.
Alaba.
Yeah, let us write some things, Lord, with our mouths. Let us write a new chapter of victory.
Yes, Lord.
Let us write a new
Lord.
chapter of victory.
Precious.
Let the chapter begin now. The new chapter of victory. The new chapter of victory. Father, I thank you for it in the name of Jesus. I thank you for it, God, in the name of Jesus. Satan, the plan won't work.
Amen.
Flesh, you gonna die. Flesh, you gonna die. You not gonna kill me, flesh. I'm gonna kill you.
Amen.
You not gonna kill me. I'm gonna kill you. And Father, I thank you for the victory over it. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Glory to God. The flesh must die. The flesh must die. It's literally like the Lord is saying to me, it's not even a devil problem. It's the flesh won't die. Reprobation is a flesh problem. To become reprobated means that you literally won't get out your flesh. Reprobation is a result of the flesh. Said I leave them to believe a lie. Verse 29, and let me finish this out here so y'all see. I want to show y'all everything that happens to a reprobate, so you don't get confused and think that you can trust a reprobate. Verse 29 says they will be filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate. Y'all see that? Debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful. They don't like God because God ain't telling them no woman to be with a woman and a man to be with a man. They don't like God for real, y'all. They like their God, but they don't like the God. Inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. I want y'all to take note to verse 32, what it says at the beginning. Don't miss that. Huh? They know they're wrong. You see that? They know they're wrong because some of us done went to them.
Right.
But they wouldn't take heed. They know they're wrong. That's why I said, don't get caught up with it. I don't be studying that mess. I don't be studying them. Because if you got that much God in you, why you in that bed with that woman? You got that much God in you, why you in the bed with that man? Now, I was over there in the bed with a man in 2003, and I was married, and God convicted me. In the bed with him when God convicted me. So why God ain't saying nothing to you? I was in the bed with the man, felt the wall in between us because I was ready to get with it, but the Lord wouldn't let me. Boy, I was ready to MC Hammer and turn it out. Felt a literal wall in between me and the man. I just knew that day I was finna make some magic. I was ready. Felt a literal wall in between me and the man. I'm trying to bust the wall. What is this? God wouldn't let it take place. Wouldn't let it be so. So if the Lord can convict me in the middle of my mess, I wasn't at his door. I was in his bed. I wasn't on the phone with him. I was in his bed. So if the Lord can convict me in the bed, why the Lord ain't said nothing to you about you being with that woman? Why the Lord ain't said nothing about the men? Why the Lord ain't said nothing about you sleeping with that woman's husband? You know, see? So that's why, in order for you to become a reprobate, that means God done came to you about that, but you wouldn't quit. It says they know the judgment of God. But see what I told y'all what reprobate means. Reprobate means to say that I accept the consequence. This is what I want to do, so I'm going to accept the consequence. I don't care. And see, the foolishness of it is what you going to do when them people die. You know you ain't going to be with them forever. So what you going to do? You accepting a consequence for something that can't even be eternal for you. Because you're not counting the cost. You're not using reasoning. Somewhere, somehow, you allow something to happen that you refuse to get delivered from. See, that's the reason why I try to teach y'all to tell everything. I be teaching y'all that for a reason. You better tell it. You better tell it. You better open your mouth. You better tell everything. Them secrets will get you in some mess. Because what they do is lodge on the inside of us, and then they draw something to us that we don't need. And before you know it, now they done got you in a mess. It do you good to talk about that stuff. I have to own stuff. I have to admit stuff. Y'all see how I sent y'all the text message today with what that man said to me? Do y'all not know that most folks would have heard that? Huh? Because that could have came with a major embarrassment,
Yeah.
couldn't it? Rejection and everything. I ain't taking. I know what I'm going to accept and what I ain't. See? But see, my honesty. See, I'm going to be honest. Because I wasn't finna sit there and allow that to lodge on the inside of me. And then the next thing you know, I'm in a mess. No, that's why I tell y'all, be honest. Talk about it. Tell the truth about it. It is what it is, because if you don't, it's going to show up at an unopportune time and it's going to get you in some trouble. Now, if I would have allowed that to hurt me, and then I would have been walking around here hurting, some old slick joker would have felt that hurt on me. And baby, there you go. I'm stroking with the motion. I'm in a mess because I didn't deal with it. Baby, I sent that back so fast. Yeah, I sent that junk back. Yeah. You must not know about me. That's the song today. Jesus done already put you to the left. I done told him, you must not know about me. You must not know about me. You can't do that to me. I done told myself I'm too cute for that.
I heard that.
You can't do that. No. See, you have to know how to be careful, because things can come if you're not. You got to know how to protect yourself. But you got to be honest. The first thing I did was told it. That's the first thing I did. I told it. I mean, it had just happened. I told it that fast. Matter of fact, I said, I'm on the phone. I was on the phone while it was happening. See, I didn't allow it time enough.
And conceive.
Mm-hmm.
Implantation.
Let it plant something. Yeah, devil is a lie. Yeah, devil is a lie. Ain't gonna go to sleep tonight and get up tomorrow new. Fresh. Like $1,000,000. Sure is. Now. All right. So look, this is the thing about it. I want y'all to make sure that the Lord instructed me to make sure that you came with expectations and to make sure that you came with a seed. So make sure that you put a seed on this word, because this is for our finances. This is for our finances, what we're believing and we're trusting the Lord for, to bring us out of some things. Our mouths are going to speak different after tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sharika said hers was. Our mouths are going to speak different after tonight, right? Our mouths are going to speak different. What is that?
Yeah.
One of the big ones.
Yeah. Big bird.
He done came back.
No, that's the twin.
That ain't the nigga. I be my own.
But check this out. I guarantee you they coming because of that over there.
They knocking.
Oh,
yeah, they knocking in this Wells Fargo and it's connected down here.
Oh, it's shaking them all out.
No, this ain't this one. It ain't come back.
I think they doing. I think it's that over there.
Wait.
Hey, look, y'all on Zoom. Listen, for those of you that need the Cash App for the LG Center is LG Center. LG Center. That's the Cash App. You don't have to capitalize it.
You don't?
LG Center. That is the Cash App for it. The Cash App. Yeah. What else? What else do we have? Yeah, PayPal. Yeah, but everybody don't read that. Trim. Yeah. PayPal is, use the email address, which is trimop2014@gmail.com. That's the PayPal. The mailing address is Post Office Box 543, Post Office Box 543, Opp, Alabama. 3 letters, OPP, 36467. Make sure that you put a seed on it. I gotta work on that. I gotta call All In about that, because we did set up a Zelle, but I gotta call All In about that to see why it didn't come through. On that one?
They said it directly.
Oh, okay. All right. We finna get some other ways of giving to y'all. We're gonna have Zelle and we're gonna have Apple Pay. And the website is getting done too. So y'all be looking out for some new things. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. God bless you. Anybody got anything on Zoom? Anybody got anything?
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I think I see you talking, Miss Angie. I got it on speaker. Okay.